That actually worked out pretty well because I didn't want to overwater the compost. What I'm doing is getting it wet so I can get the lime, the dolomite lime, to break down, and the Epsom salts. I'm gonna get it nice and wet and let those dissolve down. It's been sitting overnight, but I wanna get it wet and then I can check the pH. But this soil that I'm creating, I'm really going for good aeration because I've been having issues with some of the compost we got. It's amazing compost, but it's holding on to way too much moisture. I'm mixing up some really nice soil for the seedlings to go into. For the actual garden beds, I'll end up using that for the topsoil, but for the garden beds, we're gonna build the first 2/3 of it with cardboard, organic matter, and some compost in between there. It's starting to warm up at night, which is really good. Then we can transplant them right into the garden bed and we'll have our first garden. Super stoked. So the rainwater is reading at 6 on the pH scale, slightly under neutral. So I just added some dolomite lime to my fertilizer. Need to add some more water, let it soak overnight again. Still at 5.5. Just a little bit too acidic. I want to bring it between 6 and 7 as far as what I've been reading. We were kind of reluctant to buy one of these. It was like 20 bucks, but it's an electronic pH tester. It's like a 4-in-1. So it's a light meter, temperature reader, and moisture. It goes between Fahrenheit and Celsius. Check your temperature, make sure your soil is nice and warm. Otherwise your plants won't eat, won't grow. All right, so what I'm gonna do is take some of this rainwater. I'm gonna mix and dissolve some dolomite lime into it to make more of a concentrated hit on the soil. I really wanna raise the pH. I don't wanna wait too long. Just wanna give you a little update on our seedlings. They are taking off. We've had awesome sunny weather in the 70s and higher. All the gardening channels that we follow on YouTube are talking about how this season is really not going to be a good one. People are talking about the harvest is going to be low because we had an extended cold period. A lot of people got their seeds in the ground in May, and up here we had cold weather. We were in the 40s and 50s all the way through May, and lots of rain too. Even though we felt like we were behind on getting our garden going and planting our seedlings, everything works out because they would have died and we would have been very upset. We planted our seedlings at the end of April and we don't have a greenhouse, so we had to keep taking the trays in and out of the airstream, which gets really annoying because of the cold temperatures. I think the seedlings just had a slow start, slow growth. As soon as we started putting the seedlings outside and leaving them outside because it's getting warm at night, they just blew up. I mean, check them out. Broccoli and cauliflower are taking off. Our zucchinis are blowing up. The tomatoes, we got Roma and beefsteak tomatoes. We have not finished our garden bed. Everything just overgrew. I mean, the garden is completely taken over. In our small little local town, we were there picking up mail and running errands, and right outside the library on a picnic table were a bunch of free plants. Yeah, there's 3 left. I just grabbed 2. I didn't want to take all of them, so I left one for someone else. Come to find out, one variety is a Brandywine, and the other one is a Rebecca Allen. After doing a little bit of research, we quickly learned that these are an heirloom variety. Actually, the Brandywines are some of the oldest heirloom variety tomato seeds on the commercial market, according to the blog I read. So terrible time to update you guys, man. The sun is completely down right now. I got up at 6 a.m., started gardening. Holy shit, we got some big bats flying around. But I want to show you guys my progress on the garden beds, but we'll have to wait till tomorrow because it's too dark. I got a lot done, as much as I could. Even when I thought it was cooling off, I was just sweating my ass off in the sun. But it feels good to finally get the garden done. Yes, we are building a garden in July. And we're getting our starts in the ground in July. Yes, I know. Everything happens for a reason. Getting it done today. I will finish up tomorrow, and I'm excited to show you guys what I have done. Last night we had a huge lightning and thunderstorm come roll through the property right over us. Absolutely insane. It just completely started downpouring on me. I was grabbing my tools and I left books out. Every single time that I say, oh, it's not gonna rain, I'll leave my tools out, I'll leave this out or whatever. It's 90 degrees yesterday. It ends up raining every time. I need to stop saying, oh, just because it's 90 degrees or it's sunny, it's not gonna rain. The weather up here literally changes every 5 minutes. It's absolutely nuts. Today is really nice. Cloud cover's rolling through. It's not nearly as hot as yesterday. I was cooking yesterday. Last night, once it finally cooled off, I came out here with the headlight and I started positioning the plants and where I want to put them, and they need to get in the ground now. I ended up I was gonna build this really boring trellis using these one by ones, these stickers, and I realized that we had all of this like alder bush right next to us that I need to clear out, and I figured maybe I make a trellis, a more natural trellis using the branches and just get a little creative, and it's pretty much free. Screwed it in some places, used jute twine to tie up the rest of the places, kind of adds a nice aesthetic, but it will look really cool once the zucchini takes over and provides a little bit of partial shade. It's definitely time to get them in the ground. It's such a weird season. I'm a total noob gardener. I've never done this before, but I know the basics and I've been reading a lot. But everyone's saying that this season is not going to be a good harvest, so we'll see. I mean, if we can even harvest one cauliflower, one tomato, anything that we can actually eat, it's a success for us. But I am quickly realizing how much compost, how much organic matter, soil it takes, even with a small garden bed, even doing one side of the garden bed. I want to do both so we can grow a huge bounty of food, but let's just start with what we have. Loosen up the root ball a little bit. I need a haircut. I know. It's definitely time for a shower. Andrea's gonna be home in about an hour, so I figured I'd get everything tidied up, including myself. Holy shit, man. Today wasn't as sweaty as yesterday. Got most of the garden done. So I'm gonna take a quick shower, feel good. All of the seedlings are in the ground, which feels really good, and I noticed immediately that the zucchini was wilting. Tomatoes love the full sun, but the other soft leaves like the cayenne peppers and bell peppers, they were all struggling. Our friends gave us some leftover plastic that they had from past projects, and I kind of just started getting creative with it. None of this was really planned except for the garden bed and the planting order. Other than that, I've just been playing with scrap wood and free plastic and free screws and branches from right here on the property, just cutting them right out. And I've created this, I don't know what you call it. I just spent about an hour with some scrap wood and free screws and free plastic and created this little simple lean-to that would provide shade for the zucchini, which right now is the perfect time of day. This is when it starts getting hot and it's doing much better. The leaves aren't wilted. I'm just trying to be creative and create little shade barriers and wind blocks, and really just trying to protect our small beginner crop, you know. Made it this far and I really don't want to lose it to pests or deer, birds. We have bird net that I'm going to hang over the archways and kind of zip tie it down. The reason why I wanted to check in with you guys right now is life has just been super busy, so much going on right now, hard to even explain, can't film it all, can't explain it all. But right now we're just focusing on priorities, bringing a new life into this world, which could not be more excited. I'm so stoked to be a dad. We're so blessed to just be the age that we're at, to have waited this long, because even though we don't have everything in life figured out, we have a way better idea of who we are, what's important to us in life, things that matter. I don't know, you just don't really know a lot in your 20s, and as you enter your 30s, you become a lot wiser, and I'm very thankful for that, and I'm very thankful to be a father in my 30s. I don't feel like I'm behind or I feel like I'm late at all. I feel like everything in life happens at the right time when it's supposed to. Even if it feels like you're behind or you're late or whatever it is in life, just know that everything happens at the right time. Good morning, you guys. Another beautiful day on the mountain. Have not checked in with you guys in at least a week. We have been house sitting in the city, soaking up the Wi-Fi and the unlimited power and running water and nice hot showers. Really enjoyed ourselves. Unfortunately, me and Andrea both got sick, but all is good. Thank you to my neighbor for coming and watering the garden while we were gone, because everything would have died, or we would have had to drive out here an hour just to come water. So thank you. Really stoked to show you guys the garden. It's very small, not super productive, but it's my first time gardening and I'm pretty stoked with it. Although we are learning hard lessons. Things like cauliflower and broccoli are cold weather crops, something you plant in the fall, as cauliflower and broccoli are not doing well right now in the summer, the hot heat. And another thing is the caterpillars. I did not get a jump on the caterpillars. They're eating the shit out of the leaves. I guess we're just feeding the bugs out here. The tomato plants are looking awesome. The basil is looking awesome. The bell peppers and the cayenne, the green onion, and the zucchini is starting to finally flower. So that's exciting. And this morning, we got our first strawberry. Wanted to show you guys. Pretty cool. Like I told Andrea, I'd be happy to even get one of anything from any of these plants. So if they don't work out, everything we're doing here is a learning lesson. I'm not gonna be hard on myself. It's a beautiful morning, even though it's supposed to be 95 today. It's nice and cool, a little breezy. That's why I got the whoopee on. We picked up 55 gallons of water from town the other day, and I'm currently just siphoning it into our little ground tank. And I'm using pond water to water the garden. So even though it's a pain in the ass to go down there and scoop it up by hand, it is nice having, I guess you call it superfood, plant superfood for the garden. All right, we can go say bye to Mom. Ooh. It hit us recently how thankful we are to have clear skies. This time last year, complete whiteout, complete smoked out, man. We haven't had one wildfire up here. I think a little bit of the haziness is coming in from some of the surrounding states. Oh man, what a blessing. And I knew this was gonna happen, man. This past May and June was so cold and so wet. Everybody was talking about how it's gonna be a bad grow season, which it might be. But the fact that we don't have wildfires and triple digits for 2 months straight, huge blessing.
Hey Papa, watch out. Watch out. And the baby? Definitely showing. No denying it. I got a thing in there.